tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Explosion, #1 PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name is Dylan Blight. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. Where we know what we've got in state of play this week ahead of recording the podcast.
Yep.
So can't spring it on us.
No, they can't spring it on us.
It's coming.
It's fine. I much better if it's on it. So we'll get to this in a moment. But the fact is, it's at the end of the week, and it's not like going to get announced after we record and happen tomorrow morning. And then that's the real kick in the gut. That's like pre-announced end of the week. I can handle. I can live with.
You can live with that.
That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. In the trophy cabinet this week, gold for me telling you about easy platinums this week for sure. We will only record this episode once. They will make it. You will hear about them. And yeah, platinum. There's a state of play this week, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to go over this. I'm going to quickly go over this easy plats list, which I did last week. And then obviously we had a mishap and we had to re-record the episode and I couldn't be going over them again. So just do it again. I mean, it's not like there was much to it. It's just, hey, get your pen out, get your notepad app out. Get your PlayStation
Make sure there's money on your PlayStation. Get your PlayStation credit loaded.
That's right. Get your PlayStation credit loaded because I've got easy platinums galore. There's been 2 more added since last week, so there is bonus content.
Whoa, there's bonus.
There's bonus content. All right. Steam Engine took me 14 minutes, 59 seconds to get the platinum. All you gotta do is spam X a bunch, and then periodically you choose to upgrade things with the money you've got, and then you build a Steam Engine, and then trophies pop, and you get a platinum. 14 minutes, 59 seconds. You can probably do it faster, probably do it a bit longer. I don't know. Nape Retroverse Collection. On PS5, it took me 3 minutes and 7 seconds. The PS4 version took me 4 minutes and 38 seconds. There's 3 games in this collection. You only need to play 2. Love that. One's a side scroller. The other one is a infinite shooting side scrolling thing. I don't know actually the genre. I'm forgetting what the genre's called. Anyway, it's really easy. It takes a couple minutes. Obviously, you just gotta play like the first level and collect some things, power-ups, and get to the boss. I don't think you have to beat the boss from memory. Nah, doesn't matter. Quick Maps Advanced. I think this is the PS4 version or the PS5 version. I forgot to write it down. Either way, I realized that I'd already done this and I was like, oh shit, there's a easy, I can buy it again on whatever platform I didn't have. Let's get that shit again. Took me 46 seconds. 46 seconds for a platinum trophy. You fools out there spending hundreds of hours. Come on. 46 seconds. All you gotta do is spam, open up the subtraction or whatever, and just click X about 70 times, and then you switch modes to multiplication, click X about 70 times, and then change to whatever the other one is, whatever the other maths mode is, and do that really quickly. Rainbow on PS5 took me 46 seconds. Rainbow on PS4 took me 52 seconds. This is the same sort of thing. This is Rainbow. It's like a coloring in thing. Rainbow Colors, I think is the full title. And I forgot to write it down. Anyway, Rainbow Colors, I think. You gotta just press L1 and R1. Spam L1 and R1. All the trophies pop. Takes about 52 seconds. The Jumping Taco. There's a PS4 version. It took me 2 minutes and 37 seconds. The Jumping Taco on PS5 took me 2 minutes and 37 seconds. That's right. Equal. Exactly. I never got better or worse. I did both at the exact same time, somehow. Magical. All you do is spam X. Or hold X. One of the others. Either way, the taco jumps and trophies pop, and they tell you things about tacos. We all enjoy tacos. Get 2 platinums.
Who doesn't enjoy tacos?
Who doesn't enjoy tacos? Who doesn't enjoy platinums? You know what I mean? Like, eat a taco and hold X.
2 great things that go great together, except, don't eat tacos.
I'll accept it if you have the controller in your hand and you eat with the left hand. Like, if you use one hand for eating and you never touch the controller, I'll accept that. That's fine.
Do you need both hands to get this?
No, I need one hand.
Okay.
Done. Eat a taco while you get a platinum. Easy. The Pigeon P, PS4, 2 minutes and 39 seconds. This was another one where I realized, I have this on PS5. I didn't realize I could buy it again for $2 and get another platinum. Spam or hold X, whichever one it is, I can't remember. And pops up with trophies telling you about pigeons. You get a platinum. The Bad D, PS4, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And then the Bad D on PS5, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Again, hold X, press X, whatever it is. Trophies pop, they tell you about things. Random facts. The Jumping Burger, PS4. 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Oh, we've got over 5 minutes. Anyway, hold X. Burger jumps on screen. Trophy spot. And then the longest one on this list, My Name is Mayo 3. At 50 minutes and 4 seconds. Outrageous.
Outrageous. Clearly going away from their roots of like being an easy platinum, you know? Trying to be all artistic and bullshit with their story and characters.
They actually are. Yeah. That's the sad part. They actually are.
What is this?
It's outrageous.
Don't they know that you're just here to enjoy this easy platinum that's an innuendo for some other white condiment?
Hey, I don't know if that was ever a thing, was it? Now I'm wondering. I wonder if I could quickly. I'm wondering what my time was for the other ones. Hold on. My Name is Mayo. Like, I think
the second one was longer, but the first one was pretty quick, from memory.
Yeah, didn't I do it in like 20 minutes after we recorded or something?
Yes.
Yeah. My Name is Mayo. Why doesn't it list? It doesn't say, like, I'd have to scroll down on my... This is a bit annoying, actually. Oh, no, hold on. 17 minutes and 25 seconds for the first game. 17 minutes, 25 seconds. And then the second game, 33 minutes, 14 seconds. They've progressively got longer. Outrageous. Anyway, My Name is Mayo is still an easy platinum. It starts very similar to the other ones. If you played those, you just press X a bunch, tap the mayo jar, and then every time you pop a trophy, that means you're good. And then you have to like open on the menu and like switch the mayo jar's costume, and then tap X about 200 more times and proceed to do that. But the thing is, at some stage here, the mayo jar, which is in a van, parks, and then you're in a walking simulator where you just have to walk for like 20 minutes.
You want to be like a hopping or a...
It's hopping, yes. No, it does. It sort of hops on, yeah. So. And then I've got Kruger, PS5, 6 minutes, 13 seconds. And Kruger, PS4, 4 minutes, 55 seconds. This is a 3-level side-scrolling platforming game, I guess. There's only 3 levels in the game. You just beat them. You'll get old trophies. Just beat the game. Beat the game, get old trophies. It's easy. Good. I mean, you can die. I died a couple times in the PS5 version, hence why it took me longer. I was trying to rush it too fast and got ahead of myself and took 6 minutes. Outrageous. Anyway, easy. There's your list of, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 platinums there, right? Write that shit down. And all of these are just a couple bucks. All of these are a couple bucks each. My Name is Mayo is probably the most expensive one. I can't remember how much it costs. I was probably willing to pay a bit more for that one because I'm like, I need this, I need the trilogy. I need the trilogy complete. That's what I need. Let's get into this week's news. Of course, State of Play, big thing. That's the first thing that's happening. Sony announced it last week, promising 30 minutes of announcements, including reveals from third-party partners, plus sneak peeks at games in development for PlayStation VR 2. The times of which you can tune into this is, what have we got here? Where's the major times? Perth, 6 a.m. this Friday. Brisbane, 8 a.m. Friday. Adelaide, 7:30. Melbourne, 8 a.m. And that's about all time zones, I guess. Yeah. So it's on a decent time, I feel like, for most people, like 8 a.m., right?
Yeah. It's reasonable.
Yeah.
30 minutes. So
30 minutes.
Done at 8:30.
That's good. I just told my bosses at work, I'm like, I'll be late to work. Don't ask why. Got more important shit to do than me. You know what I mean? I got better shit to do.
Fair.
You can wait. So what do you think is going to happen here? So of course, the number one question people are asking is about God of War, which I might as well tie into this other story here quickly because it sort of could be part of the same discussion. So God of War did get rated by the Koreans rating board this week, which doesn't technically mean that it's due out anytime soon. Like, things definitely get rated by rating boards all around the world, and then there's still months before they release, so wouldn't put too much on that. However, it is definitely means that I would say the ratings board thing solidifies it's coming out this year. I don't know when. It could, I don't think that means it's out next month, But I think the fact it is getting rated somewhere, I would say, certainly adds a lot of evidence to say everyone calm down if they don't think it's coming out this year. But I will say sometimes PlayStation's got pretty good recently. So they'll put in these blog posts and go, 30 minutes of indie games, no announcements in regards to first party partners. You know, like quite often they've been making sure to like settle everyone's hype. Like, don't get your hopes up. For this one, they didn't do anything like that. So they never said...
They left it open.
They left it open. Now, that doesn't mean for sure...
That could be an oversight.
Yes. So I do think that's worth pointing out, though, because they have been doing that a lot lately, where they've been trying to make sure people's hopes and dreams are sort of like, hey, we'll not have any news on these things that you're excited about. This time, they didn't say yes or no, but they also certainly didn't say no. But yeah, what do you reckon? What do you reckon it's going to be shown off? What do you reckon mostly is going to be here? Is it mostly PSVR 2? That'd be weird, but...
I think maybe like a quarter PSVR, which would be 7.5 minutes, which would be pretty good. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of rumors and rumored leaks about what stuff is coming. Like games thrown out like Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 16, Modern Warfare 2. Those sort of things. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of those. A few indies that we've waiting on dates, like Stray. That's the one that's
Stray's rumored for like July, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, the release date's pretty much almost leaked, so just a confirmation for that. Little Devil Inside, those sort of games. I'm kind of torn about God of War because the Summer Games Fest is the following week, right?
Yeah.
Do you hold it for that? Do you give Jeff Keighley this massive announcement? This is the big event of the week. Do you go, hey, we'll give him that because it's going to be the biggest thing there and everybody would be talking about PlayStation? Or do you release it amongst your stuff?
I mean, I would say it's a bit smarter move for them to actually give it to Jeff. It's a bigger stage. More people would be tuning into that than the state of play. But Sony...
Or do you go, here's God of War... First, here's the release date, and then tune in to State of Play, Summer Games Fest for the first gameplay footage.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you try to have your cake and eat it too?
I think you can do both. Either or would work.
So what we're saying is you're definitely going to get a God of War, God of War in the next 2 weeks.
I'm still standing by. I'm still standing by. God of War's getting a release date. Like either this week or next week. I'm all in on that simply by what we discussed a couple of weeks ago. Or last week or the week before.
Last week, yeah.
I'm all in on that now. Based solely on what we were saying about if it doesn't get released soon, if it doesn't get a release date soon, when the fuck is it coming out? Like, yeah. So we need one.
Absolutely.
How much PSVR stuff do you reckon there's going to be then?
Yeah, I think like 7.5 minutes, maybe show a bit more footage of that Horizon Zero Dawn, the Horizon game they're working on.
Call of the Wild or some shit like that? I think?
Something like that. And then, you go, hey, Beat Saber is going to come to PSVR 2. It's going to be enhanced in some way. And then you do some other quirky indie ones or like titles that weren't able to come to the original PSVR that now with the enhancements for the second one, they'll be able to make their way across. Like maybe like some of the Insomniac games. Yeah.
Now,
what do you think?
I think, yeah, maybe I was going to say like 10 minutes because it's at least 10 minutes because it's one of the things they mention in the blog post. So that leaves 20 minutes for other, but I'd say at least 10 minutes on PlayStation VR stuff. And Horizon plus I think they reveal something else big. I think they maybe not gameplay, but like just a teaser trailer. So I don't know if that's an Astrobot thing or just another VR title for a well-known either third party or first party IP. No, not that. Like a well-known IP, an IP that gets people who don't care about VR more interested in VR.
But
so,
the
similar
other
to
Horizon. Like more of the Resident Evil games will be coming to VR.
Yeah, that would count as well because that's something that did very well. Like that, the VR mode, a lot of people were streaming and whatever, playing it that way, and was a very popular sort of selling point.
Here would be a smart decision. You know how Ace Combat, that's in PSVR, right?
The last one?
The latest one.
Yeah.
They've got the new DLC for Top Gun Maverick. Just capitalize on that, baby.
Top Gun VR game? Yeah.
Top Gun in VR.
I'd play it. Throw up everywhere, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fine. Now, on the release date sort of thing that we keep discussing about PSVR, this story tied in. So Push Square has Sony targeting 1.5 million PSVRs for launch, but could drop in early 2023. According to reliable supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Ko, Sony intends to manufacture 1.5 million PSVR 2 headsets for the second half of this year. The TF International Securities employee noted, however, that the virtual reality headset could ultimately drop in early 2023, depending on development schedule of game titles. This would be an aggressive start for the headset, as it took over a year for the original PSVR to sell 2 million units on a larger PS4 install base. However, it's worth mentioning that virtual reality is more of an established technology now than it was in 2016, with products like the MetaQuest helping to raise the profile of the medium. Sony intends to have more than 20 major launch titles for PSVR 2, and we'll get a first proper glimpse at this week's coming state of play. So if this is in line with what I've been thinking, which is that I'm all in that Sony wishes they could release it this year. I think in a non-COVID affected world, I think Sony would have released this headset for holiday season this year.
Mm-hmm.
In a non-COVID world. So that's why I'm saying early next year. I'm standing by it. I'm standing by it. PSVR 2.
I mean, in a non-COVID world where there's no chip shortages, they would have hoped to have released it by now, I would think.
I think even this year would have made sense though. Like, it's a couple of years after PS5. There would have been a lot more PS5s in the wild. They would have been able to make these easier, get them out. It's a big launch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Get in at a good time, right before, like, you don't want to be coming out really close to, like, whenever they announce, like, the Quest 3. Because that's the other thing. You got to take into account, like, what these other companies are doing with their VR headsets. You want to have your own sort of nice window. There's nothing major coming out, like, headset-wise at the moment, I don't think, at least that I'm aware of. The Quest 3 or the successor to the Quest 2 is rumored to be announced later this year. Don't know when it would release, but there's always those rumors. So, but 1.5 million trying to make, or apparently they're going to make 1.5 million units ready is the aim by the end of this year. And then if that's true, like if they reckon they can do that, and it's the software they're worrying about, you'd think it would be the opposite way. You know, if you were to guess, you would be like, no, surely it's the getting the chips and whatever else that we're always struggling with. Like, surely that's going to be harder part. But yeah, according to this source, which it is a reliable, like, it's not a bullshit Redditor or something. It's an industry analyst and stuff who covers manufacturing stuff mostly. So I think it's interesting. I think, and I'm grabbing onto this story like a wild bull over here, so I can ride my PSVR releasing early 2023 right into the sunset and hopefully be proven right for something and not wrong by the time we get into next year. But what do you think? 20 major launch titles? Do you think that's a combination? So what would, in your mind, if you hear major launch titles, if Sony counted one of those as like Beat Saber, PS5 up-res version, do you count that as a major launch title? I'm going to say no.
I guess not, but I mean, it would be a major draw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would
like,
say
if they were to do Beat Saber Complete Edition, or like, with a lot of the DLC like bundled in, for PSVR 2, then yes.
I'll say
and if there was a PSVR 2 specific file,
game or like tracks or something,
whatever,
yeah. Because that's the thing. I'm going to be like, what is 20 major? What do they consider 20 major? Is it 20 Horizon like spin-off game equivalents? Because that would be a lot. Like,
there's no chance of that happening.
No, that's not.
But 20 games coming to PSVR for the first time. I would say.
Which is possible when you have a lot of, as we're saying, games that didn't come to PSVR.
Because the tech wasn't there.
Because the tech and all the developers are like, we don't want to butcher our game to get it to play on that, which is fair. So I think, yeah, if you got like half and half, so half port or ports of games that we haven't had before, and then 10 new things, I think would be good, in my opinion. Like if you really want I know, and even then that seems like a lot, but if they really want this thing to be as a gangbusters virtual reality headset, I think 10 original games at launch is absurd, but it would also be a great way to solidify it as a must-play device. Now, they don't all have to be first party, of course. You have like, let's say 3 to 4, maybe first party. That would be, I think, an acceptable sort of realistic number, 3 to 4. So you got Horizon, then we just need 2 to 3 other things.
That would be on par to what the PS5 had at launch.
Yeah.
So, or even more, I think.
Yeah. And then you just need some third parties in there that have either got exclusive, they've made something exclusive for it, or even indie devs, or, you know, something that you've exclusive or timed exclusive PSVR 2 game. So I think something like that would be really good if they want this to do a lot better than the way the last one went, and if they want it to be in competition to Quest 2 and PC gaming and stuff. It definitely needs to have a solid, it needs to be catalog, and it needs to be easier to get. It needs to be
available.
It needs to be available. And it doesn't, but the thing is, right, you don't have to worry too much, like you don't have to worry about it as much as PS5, because it's a thing where the only people buying this are people with PS5s. So you sort of, you already know your market there. You can literally look at the amount of PS5s that are in the wild and go, okay, like realistically, what percentage of the PS4 player base brought PSVRs? Let's use that as our base for how many people we think this could potentially sell. You know, divide that number by half. I don't know. You know, like do something as like a rough estimate of what you think we need to do to make this work. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens on. Oh, they say it here, Horizon Cold Mountain. That was the name here. So I assume we see some more of that, and hopefully something else. And wild if we got a rough release date. If they said early 2033, they showed a PSVR trailer. Boy, you know I'm going to be sitting here like, motherfucker, I was right. Take it to the bookies. Press start. Writes, PlayStation has blamed the technical error for overcharging upgraded discounted PlayStation Plus subscribers. So this was the thing that was happening last week where everyone was getting overcharged, and now Sony's like, nah, it wasn't our fault. But was it? Conspiracy theory. So they wrote, yesterday we reported that PlayStation were charging PlayStation Plus subscribers who had previously gotten a subscription at a discounted rate the full difference when upgrading to either the PlayStation Plus Extra or PlayStation Plus Deluxe tiers. Not only were they getting charged extra, but they were also getting asked to pay the difference for the entirety of their stacked subscription, anywhere between 1 to 15 years, depending on how much it stacks. PlayStation appears to have reversed the decision to charge discounted PlayStation Plus subscribers more to upgrade to Extra or Deluxe plans, blaming a technical error. The below message was posted, blah, 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 blah. So this story was happening, and it was happening for, I don't know, 3-4 days before an update from PlayStation came through. And I remember reading and going, am I about to be charged like $500 on my, you know, because I can't remember how many years I've currently got stacked of PlayStation Plus. I think I've got a couple years. And the way the story was playing out was, if I wanted to upgrade to premium, deluxe, whatever, then I was going to have to pay the difference of how many ever years I currently had stacked.
You still are. What the difference now is, you don't have to pay the discounted amount, the difference between the full price of PlayStation Plus and the discount that you got your stacked subscriptions on.
Yeah. But
you don't have to pay that amount. You still have to pay the difference for 10 years or whatever you've got stacked. The extra to upgrade.
But I thought they changed it now. So, like, if I only wanted to go to 1 year, like, say you wanted
Not as far as I can tell from that article.
Oh, my God. Let me reread this. I swear. So what? PlayStation tweeted, due to a technical error, players and agent who previously purchased a PlayStation Plus membership at a discount have been incorrectly charged for upgrading. Right? Yes. This has been backed up. Yes. What doesn't appear to have changed is that PlayStation will require you to pay to upgrade your entire stacked subscription, which probably does make sense. This means that if you have stacked years of PlayStation Plus, you'll need to pay the difference, upgrade for the entire stacked amount, but still better than having to pay extra if you got it at a discounted rate. This means that if you're a regular PlayStation Plus subscription and you're upgrading to Deluxe, you can expect to pay a difference of $75 per 12 months that you have stacked. You can see how this could ramp up quite quickly. We'll see, because I swear I read somewhere else. That they, like, if you chose, like, let's say you have a couple years and then you could still choose to, like, I only want to do a year, and then you pay the year's difference, and then after that fact, you would just drop back down to, because you still, like, let's say you have 3 years stacked. Let's say you have 3 years stacked PlayStation Plus now, right? And let's say you choose to upgrade to premium, and you're doing it for a year, so you pay for a year's worth of a premium difference, and then let's say you chose to cancel it before it rolled over, then you drop back down to normal PlayStation Plus, but you already have 2 years of that stacked. That would make sense, right? You get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying. I remember very vividly saying this is going to be a mess, and it is kind of a mess. Really what they should do is just translate it all to, like, some
dollars?
sort of overall, like, dollar amount
that
you've got. And then they've already got the figure. They've worked out that they already did the translation or whatever, the conversion rate with their massive tables that we talked about the other week for credits. Just use that. And then if you switch between, it comes up somewhere how many days you've got left on your subscription at that rate.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be the easiest. Do you reckon the reason they don't want to, though, is because so how much is PlayStation Plus worth at the moment? Like $70, $79 a year or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But let's say you brought let's say you brought every subscription at 20, 25% off. And they're like, oh no, we don't want to give people. If that's the reason, though, that's dumb. Because it's like, just cop the.
No, you already decided not to take that money.
Yeah.
You decided to put that on sale, so it's your problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that would solve the problem. You credit everyone's account and say that they've got, in the back end, and say they've got 300,
100 PSN dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. And then you translate that into whatever
each of the subscription tiers, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're not going to do that.
No.
They're just going to make it super difficult.
The longer this goes on, right, the more stories that keep coming. Because we're about to talk about another one. The more I'm like, I'm kind of glad that we're getting it last. Because there's a degree of how many kinks are going to be worked out by the time it actually launches here in Australia, you know?
Do you know if you get paid like 12 months of Game Pass Ultimate, if you want to just drop down to like Game Pass for Xbox, do they convert that, or you can't do that? Or nobody does that, so nobody knows. It's such a great deal.
I'm going to say no, you can't, because they're treated as like completely separate subscriptions. So you mean going from Ultimate to just Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can, because they are treated as like completely separate subscription entities.
What if you want to upgrade?
So I don't know currently. When I upgraded at the time, when Game Pass Ultimate launched, and I already paid for, like, let's say I'd already brought like a cheaper year or something. I had like 2 years stacked, I think, something like that. They were like, I think they did translate it into credit, because the price for Ultimate is like double the price of normal, because of course you're getting on PC, you're getting it on console, etc., etc. I think they were like, you've got nothing to pay today, right? And then when it rolled over, I only had to pay like $5. So I think they on the back end did translate it to credit, which is what PlayStation should be doing. Because I don't recall any problems with the upgrade of Game Pass to Game Pass Ultimate. Everyone was very happy. I had no problems. I know Kieran had no troubles. Like, it was like, oh, cool. Like, I don't have to pay anything. Sweet. You know? Like, the ideal way this stuff would be working, yeah. So also on this stuff, Press Start also writes, Digital Foundry's analyst of PlayStation Plus Deluxe's classic games paints a grim picture. The shiny new tiered PlayStation Plus subscription has finally been available in Asia territories for a little bit now. So while the service isn't launching locally until late June, we're starting to see a healthy amount of information. While it's exciting to see these services launch, it hasn't exactly been a smooth sailing, and there are still some pretty glaring negatives that Sony will need to contend with if it's serious about its offering. Teething issues such as accidentally overcharging users for upgrades are one thing, but if recent breakdown video from Eurogamers, video game tech experts at Digital Foundry, is any indication, there are some major issues with PlayStation Plus's new library of classic PS1, PS2, and PSP titles. Emulation is always a tricky thing to get right, especially when trying to cram a couple decades worth of systems with varying display technologies onto one platform in a consistent and feasible way. To that end, I don't think anyone's expecting the PS5, PS4's ability to play titles spanning 2 generations of PlayStation, home console, and a handheld to be perfect, but the reality seems to be bewildering more than anything. Starting with Ape Escape. Digital Foundry's John Linneman opens an analyst video with the disappointing news that the current library of PS1 games on the service is mostly comprised of PAL region versions. This is immediately an issue if you're like me and old enough to remember PAL region equipment ran at a lower 50 Hz refresh rate compared to 60 Hz in NTSC regions. What this means is that now that new machines like the PS5 and PS4 all output of a minimum of 60 Hz, these emulator versions of the game perform with inconsistent frame pacing and judder on top of the games themselves, literally moving 70% slower than intended. More problems arise with the provided emulator's rendering features, which include options like different aspect ratios and screen filters to adjust things to players' liking. Linneman notes that the option to upscale games to a roughly 1920 by 1440 resolution actually works fairly well and doesn't destroy 2D elements as much as it might have, but that it also causes a lot more instability in certain 3D elements. Meanwhile, provided options to change the aspect and pixel ratio in PS1 and PSP games can seem to make little sense and not actually do what they describe. Digital Foundry was especially concerned at the fact that mods like 1:1 and square pixels actually cause pixels to be narrower, resulting in a squished image that nobody like. PSP emulation for Echo Chrome seems defeated enough. They also said PS2 emulation, which with the only 4 games being available, Jak and Daxter titles, already available as classics on PS4, is probably the least interesting, as it's just those, etc., etc., etc. They've got a full 20-minute video if you want to check that out, of course, on Digital Foundry's YouTube channel. But yeah, so there's a bunch of side-by-side screenshots and stuff like that, and it's if you watch the videos in motion where they break down why the 50 hertz thing is a problem, it's quite interesting. But yeah, I don't know why. The thing is, so for like, I don't know if that part made the most sense. Like the 50 hertz thing, when the console's minimum setting is 60, is it's like, why? Like, you know, your console's set to a certain thing, so why didn't we port the North American versions of the games that run at the 60? You know what I mean? I'm just very confused why they even chose to do this, because it's been a long known thing even before this. Anytime there's been any PlayStation 1 emulation, people always ask the question first, like, is it the PAL region version or is it the NTSC version? Like, what's the go? I don't know. What do you make of this as someone who doesn't usually care of graphics or things? Can you even notice difference? You probably can't.
Probably not. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to tell if it's like narrowed and that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's interesting, I guess, for like a purely techie reasons, and like, but you know, as long as it plays the same, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's rough because the people who will be playing these are the like purists who want it to be either exactly the same as it was originally,
yeah,
or as good as possible, like or better than what it was. And it doesn't sound like that's what this is.
I think people just want, like, I would want just the best version of the game that's available, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my criticism is. I don't expect like major changes, all these graphical mode things. I don't even need, like, the fact that they're saying the up-res to 1440p looks all right. That's pretty cool. But like, I wouldn't have even expected that. Like, if it just played a natural resolution, but I'm like, well, just give us the American version of the game, not the PAL version of the game.
They deleted them all.
I mean, that's not a thing. You can find a fucking disc on eBay, I'm sure. I guarantee you. If I can type Ape Escape into eBay, I'll find a copy. Bloody someone's got an emulation file probably on some torrent website. So, yeah. Anyway, it's a bit disappointing, but I'm still keen solely because of the trophies, obviously, to try out these games more than I was a couple weeks ago before we knew about all the trophy stuff. So, either way. And the final story the final story for games news, sorry, I should word that correctly. Final news for games news this week is that Sony is planning to stop PS4 games probably sooner than you thought. So, well played, right? Sony has revealed that it's planning to stop releasing games for the PS4 by 2025 and focusing on releasing games for the PS5, PC, and mobile platforms. The news came to light during Sony's recent financial presentation, where the Japanese company highlighted expected growth across the PC and mobile categories. It's not overly surprising, given that we're 2.5 years into PS5 life cycle, and it's normal that Sony would want to focus its efforts on the new console. Launching in late 2013, the PS4 has been a cash cow for Sony, selling over 170 million units as of February this year. So we've still got some big names coming up, like they mentioned God of War Ragnarok and whatever else, but honestly, I thought they would keep it around longer. Solely because of the COVID slowdown of PS5 and I thought they would just keep it around longer because they would want the easy cash.
But Dylan, the messaging before COVID was we are about generations. As soon as the PS5 comes out, that's what we're focused on. And they've had this middle period where they've kind of backtracked on that. So now they're finally committing to all PS5, and it is only the first party stuff. So third parties can still make stuff for PS4.
Yeah.
Indies can still make stuff for PS4. It's just the first party studios are focusing on PS5, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. As someone who wants the I would rather Insomniac just focus on making the best version of Wolverine, for example, for solely for PS5 and not have to worry about making it run on the older consoles. Totally.
Yeah.
But I just thought if you'd asked me to bet on what Sony would do, I would have said they would have extended this and probably made Insomniac make some of the next Spider-Man game play on both anyway, just because of COVID and stuff. I thought they would have just as much as it was going to piss people off, I actually thought that's what they would end up doing. So just as a way to get some money. But that's fine. I mean,
no.
All good. Just saying. Just saying.
It's the future.
If you're still out there,
just work harder.
Struggling to get a PS5, just got to get your shit together. You see one pop up, buy that shit straight away. You see one pop up and be like, I'm at work, fuck your work. Go buy the console, right?
Yeah.
Work and wait. You see one pop up on your phone, text message saying PS5 is now available at eBay Games, your wife's giving birth, I don't give a fuck. Buy the console. Right?
Yeah. You've got that baby's going to come out.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with that baby. You don't know if you're going to end up with that PS5.
Do you reckon when that kid turns 10 years old and asks why you never had a PS5 and you've got a collection of all the consoles and you have to explain that you chose not to buy it because you had to watch the kid's birth, the kid's going to forgive you? No, the kid will be like, you fucking idiot.
You fool.
You fool.
It's not like you were helping at all.
You're not doing anything. You're just sitting there.
Could have been... providing.
Yeah, make decisions for this kid. Make decisions for this kid's life. It's fine. It doesn't need you now. It needs you later. Get the PS5. See this bullshit.
And for those people who just, if their only attempt to get a PS5 is walking into a shop and asking if they got a PS5, no, that's why you don't have a PS5. You need to be. This is a full-time job getting a PS5.
It is.
You need to be in all the marketplaces.
You need to get an ABN.
Need to be on have all the notifications for all the different places.
Tax time's coming up. You can claim some of your phone bill.
Yeah.
Full-time PS5 hunter. Fucking
got to be committed. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, so that's right. You know how you're committed to giving birth, to helping make a child? They'd be committed to getting. So, fucking hell. Alright, let's get into PlayStation Productions news. So, Variety. Horizon Zero Dawn series in early development talk at Netflix. Sorry, Variety's the one who wrote it. They're not the ones that make things. More Sony video games are in line for TV treatment as Sony Pictures Entertainment CEO Tony Vinciquerra revealed in an investor briefing on Thursday the popular PlayStation titles Horizon Zero Dawn and Gran Turismo are the latest games going Hollywood. The Horizon Zero Dawn series, based on the popular video games where robotic dinosaurs roam a post-apocalyptic America, is in early development at Netflix, while Gran Turismo, a racing series, hasn't landed a distributor yet and is also in early development. In addition to the new Sony project, Sony confirmed that a God of War series, which was first announced in March, has been shopped around to Amazon, has landed at the Prime Video streamer. Sony and PlayStation Productions are ramping up their projects based on the popular video games, which kicked off with Uncharted, etc., etc., etc. Got Last of Us coming up, Twisted Metal coming up. We talk about all these things. Ghost of Tsushima, forget about that. There's a million fucking things. Oh my god, too many bloody video game series here. Also, shout outs at the bottom of this little article here before we discuss all this. I like this little chart they got going on here. That's crazy how much this stuff is happening. So, not all PlayStation related, but this is crazy. Skylanders Academy comes out October. Castlevania, Dragon's Dogma, Dota, Dragon's Blood, Resident Evil Infamous, Arcane, Angry Birds, Summer, Cuphead showed Halo, Resident Evil, and then we've got shit. It's just ramping up. It's ramping up. It's a video game adaptation takeover. Goes Resident Evil, then you got Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Sonic Prime, Last of Us, Untitled Knuckles series, Assassin's Creed, Captain Laserhawk, Devil May Cry, Diablo, Fallout, Far Cry. What's the next page? God of War, Gran Turismo, Horizon Zero Dawn, It Takes Two, Mass Effect, Skull and Bones, Splinter Cell, Tomb Raider, Twisted Metal, Untitled Castlevania Follow-Up, Untitled Pokemon series. Too many. Anyway, what do you make of the Horizon Zero Dawn series and Gran Turismo series?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. But kind of been rumored that, Horizon Zero Dawn would be coming to live action. Netflix, I guess, is a good home for it. It just depends on how much money they're going to spend on it. Would be my only concern because, those the machines need to look good.
Yeah.
If they don't look good, everybody's going to hate it and think it's terrible. So, yeah. I think there's potential there if you're like delving more into the lore and the story, and if it's mostly about Aloy learning about her past and why she's here, and then also have like episodes where you explore the different tribes of the various games. That would be cool. I think, there's a lot of potential for story there. As long as it's not rushed, I feel like, you can stretch out the first game into potentially several seasons.
Yeah.
Or at least two.
Yeah. I don't think Netflix is a good place solely because of what you were saying. And I have no faith in them to get to invest enough money to get the dinosaurs looking right is my major worry. Like I would trust them to get, like, if it was just about the tribes and stuff, like I'm sure the costume department.
Dylan, they just spent $1 billion on Stranger Things.
Yeah, I know, but that's Stranger Things. That's their like show pony, Like that's the one. So I don't know. We'll see. It definitely is it
depends on, like, Sony might compete some of the budget as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can only hope. What do you make of the Gran Turismo thing?
I have no idea what this is going to be. Is it going to be a bunch of people sitting in a cafe talking about how great cars are? We don't know.
I don't know.
Would you see the other link? The link in the show notes.
Hey?
I put another link in there that I just saw on Deadline.
Oh, yeah, I was about to bring this up. I couldn't find the story. Yeah. So, here we go. So, Neill Blomkamp is being eyed to direct, writes Deadline. The plot of the film has been kept under wraps, but news comes as rumors surface today. The TV adaptation of the racing game is also being developed and aimed at a streaming service. There's a rich history behind the game. Sure. Created by Polyphony and Kazunori Yamauchi in 1997, it's hailed as the most authentic driving simulators in its class for its focus on precise graphics, driving physics, and attention to detail. None of that sounds like something you would turn into a story for a video game. But yeah, Neill Blomkamp, who is, of course, the director of District 9, Chappie, Elysium,
and
something
Demonic,
else.
which you want to see.
Yeah, that one I haven't watched.
It's crazy that the man who almost directed Halo movie is going to potentially direct Gran Turismo.
What a step down, you know what I mean? Like, what a step down. But the funny thing is, right, so it's I don't know. There's nothing in Gran Turismo that leads like story wise to adaptation. But if you want to make, potentially you could just make a really good driving based series. You know, which if you like, you could show to someone and they had no idea it's based on a video game. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be a really good thing. Like, you take some of the cup names from the games, right? You take some of the famous track names from the game. You have these races, and because of course in Gran Turismo you just follow the same rules where, you know, it's people riding, they're just driving like a mixture of cars. Like, you don't have everyone driving like bloody the same massive NASCAR thing or whatever, you know, because especially early days in those games before you reach the end where you're getting like $500,000 Ferraris and stuff, like everyone's driving around like, you know, $2,000 cheap cars when you start it. So like, if that's the way the show started, that'd be interesting. You see a bunch of random ass cheap cars driving around track, like stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But at the heart, you still have to just come up with a character for it because there's no characters in the game. Make them interesting. Make the Drive to Survive interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, like if you just craft a well-written a bunch of well-written characters, and you just take the tracks and world of Gran Turismo and stuff like that, the core elements, you can make a really cool and interesting car television show. But no one would even know it's based on a video game at the end of the day, which is fine, but just weird to adapt it. But whereas obviously Horizon's going to feel and look like that's going to be way more like, this is a video game adaptation. Gran Turismo will be like, this is a video game adaptation. It's like, is it? I don't know. That's it. That'll do it. This week's episode of Platinum Explosion. There's no any comments, questions, concerns you've had about this week's episode. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter, ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord. Tweet at us. Join the Discord. If you thought this episode was worth $1, head on over to ExplosionNetwork.com/support. You can drop as little as $1 to know what's happening. Let us know. You can drop a little comment, shows up. That's nice. Help keep the lights on. Do all those things. And remember, until next week, or you know what? If Friday's massive, I'm sure we'll do a bonus. But the last couple state of plays, we've always just been like, nah, we'll just wait till Tuesday, or it's fine. But again, if it's big enough, we'll do a bonus. If the bonus doesn't drop, we deemed it like or one up, one down. It has to be a double thumbs up. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be a big one. So maybe we'll talk to you later. If not, we'll talk to you next week. And until then, remember, every trophy counts.